Well, good afternoon. So for the demo today, what we are planning to do is to demonstrate the Avacom Avatar Multilingual Junior Mortgage Banker. I'll walk everybody through the demo. Then after the demo is done, we can have some questions and answers that would help hopefully clarify everything for you, okay? All right, so let's do that. Give me a second. Let me switch over to the avatar, and then I will turn on I think I will share my screen first, and then shut up the camera here because I want it to be over here on the avatar. So let me make sure that I turn on the audio, which I do. Okay, and share. Okay, then here's a junior mortgage banker. I will join.
Hi there, I'm Lisa, and I'm here to help you with your mortgage needs. Whether you're buying your first home or looking to refinance, I'll guide you through the process step by step. What brings you here today?
Hi, Lisa. This is Mike. I am interested in buying a new home. Please help.
Hi, Mike. Nice to meet you. Congratulations on considering buying a new home. That's super exciting. To get started, can you tell me a bit about your current situation? What's your current living situation like, and what are your goals for this new home?
Yes, right now I am renting an apartment in Irvine with my family, and I'm looking to buy a single family home, also in Irvine, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, pricing between $1 million and $1.5 million.
Awesome, Mike. It sounds like you're looking for a great home for your family in Irvine. Single-family homes in Irvine are fantastic, and that price range of $1 million to $1.5 million can get you a beautiful property. To get started, can you tell me a bit about your financial situation? What's your income like, and do you have a down payment saved up? Have you checked your credit score at all?
Yes, I am currently employed full-time with a technology company. My annual base income is $180,000. We have saved up about $300,000, and I'm looking for something that I can afford.
Great, Mike. It sounds like you're in a solid financial position. With a base income of $180,000 and $200,000 saved up for a down payment, you've got a good foundation to work with. In Irvine, with a budget of $1 million to $1.5 million, you can definitely find a fantastic 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom single family home. Let's talk about mortgage options. With your income and down payment, you might qualify for some great loan programs. Have you considered what type of mortgage you're interested in? For example, are you looking at conventional loans, or maybe an FHA or VA loan?
I am open. I would like to go with a fixed 30 years loan, but I am more open to getting the lowest monthly payment that I can.
A 30-year fixed-rate loan can provide stability and predictability for your mortgage payments. To minimize your monthly payments, we can explore different options. With your income and down payment, you likely qualify for a conventional loan with a competitive interest rate. I'd like to discuss how much you can afford in terms of monthly payments. Would you like me to crunch some numbers and provide examples of what your monthly payments might look like at different interest rates?
Yes, please.
Okay, Mike. Let's take a look at some numbers. Based on your income and down payment, I can give you some examples of what your monthly payments might look like. Assuming a 30-year fixed-rate loan with a loan amount of $800,000 to $1.3 million and an interest rate of 7%, your monthly payments could be around $5,500 to $9,000. However, if we can get you a slightly lower interest rate, say 6.5%, your monthly payments could be around $5,000 to $8,000. Keep in mind that these are just rough estimates, and actual numbers may vary depending on factors like property taxes and insurance. Would you like me to explore more scenarios or talk about how we can work on getting you the best interest rate possible?
No, I am good. Thank you so much. I will be back in touch so we can get the application process started. Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome, Mike. It was great chatting with you. I'm looking forward to helping you with your mortgage application when you're ready. Feel free to reach out anytime and have a fantastic day.
Okay. So that was a quick demo of a purchase loan. Now, of course, the avatar can also help with the refinancing. A couple of things of note before we go to the Q&A sessions. We can customize the avatar to provide a customized loan program based on the company needs. We can also provide different options, and we can also have the avatar transfer the call to a live mortgage banker as appropriate. We can also disclose that the borrower is talking to an avatar upfront, so that way we are staying compliant. But those are some of the options that we can provide. Let me stop here and have you ask some questions, Rich.
Yeah, and I thought it was a very interesting demo. One thing I would have liked to see, and again, this is just a demo, so I understand how you guys are setting this up, but the avatar lets you get off the call without getting any information to follow up with you to put into a CRM, so they can follow up at a later point in time. So maybe something like that would be good to put in there. But when you're looking at the avatar, how is that information being provided to the AI agent, and in a way that it's giving the same responses to different people with similar scenarios, so you're not kind of redlining borrowers?
Sure. The way it works is the avatar is programmed. On the back end, we have an API that will integrate the front-end avatar to the lender's AOS platform. Could be Encompass, could be Empower, could be whatever they want. And whatever the avatar presented are the loan programs that are approved by the lender itself. So, it doesn't discriminate based on who they talk to because they are providing answers, as it was guided or given guidance by the lenders, lending rules and regulations. So that's not something that the avatar can look at a person and then make their own judgment. They only provide answers based on the question or the data that was given to the avatars and based on the lending guidelines are provided by the lender.
What's the process for teaching the avatar more information and more guidelines? It could have gone down a different path if you were a VA, because they give you that option. How would you train it to say, ask you if you have any military experience or been in the military, so they wouldn't even offer that VA option?
Right, I think that's a great question. Basically, we can train the avatar to ask pre-qualification questions. For example, are you a veteran? Are you looking at adjustable rate loan, FHA? So basically, the customization is based on the customers, in this case, the lender requirements. So the avatar can ask a lot of questions before she offers a loan program to the borrower. So that's something that is flexible and can be done fairly quickly by us.
Is that something that could be handed off to the lender to take over the learning of the avatar?
Yes, for sure. Once we work with the lender and set up the avatar and how all of the databases and connections are put together, we can train the internal lenders team to program the avatars and to really train the avatars to ask the right questions and refer to the right data that they have access to through our multiple customized or off-the-shelf applications that the lenders are using.
You mentioned integration through APIs to the origination systems. How about to the various CRMs? Are there any limitations, or any CRM that has an API to ingest data is acceptable to use?
Thomas, you want to provide that response?
Yes, we can integrate into most CRMs. Of course, we can't guarantee all of them. And if it's not something that's already easily accessible, we do have development teams that can help with that. So I would say for 90+% of time, we could do it.
As a borrower, how is the integration and security around the PII data that the avatar is collecting from the prospective borrower?
Right. So everything we do is in compliance with the company's cybersecurity governance and guidelines. For example, the avatars most likely will only access data that are authorized and vetted by the cybersecurity framework and governance uh, provided by the lender. So we are putting proper cybersecurity protections and guidance to make sure that the data that is communicated to the borrower, is they are coming from the approved source only, and data coming into the environment will also be vetted by the cybersecurity tools and processes before they get uploaded into the lender's LOS platform.
Okay, so I get that it has to follow all federal and state regulations. How does that information stay up to date? Is that something that's specific to the lender, or is that going out now and looking at the different agencies to see if there's any federal or state regulation changes that might affect the responses from one day to the next?
Right. So, basically I think they can do both. The avatars can accept input, customized input from the particular lender, but the avatar can also accept general input from, let's say, Freddie or Fannie and any other government or any other publicly available sources. So that way they have the latest general information up to date, like, the latest rates or terms or whatever laws or rules that they have to follow. And then we mix that in with the lender's customer requirements. So that way the avatars will always have the latest information that they can share for general purposes based on available government data, but they can also provide specific data that is provided by the lenders themselves.
There's always in lending, you always have the he said, she said, and why a lot of calls are recorded. What kind of auditing is there on the interaction between the avatar and the borrower?
We have the ability to record and transcribe all of the interactions, so there can be stored and referenced.
Okay, so I guess that would be another reason then to at least have some piece of identifying data to tie that record back to, besides just a mic that's calling in about a potential mortgage in Irvine, right? So we could
Right.
probably do something where we get another more identifying piece of data, whether it's a phone number or email address.
Right.
Probably too early for Social Security at that point, because you can't get that to an avatar probably before you get to the loan officer. As far as the underwriting goes and decisioning, is the avatar designed to make a decision at this point, or is it just to make an assessment of viability and interest by the borrower and then hand off to a loan officer?
Yeah, at this time, the avatars can only make a preliminary assessment to determine if the borrower is qualified from a very high level. Once the borrower say, yes, I want to proceed with the loan process, the avatar can transfer the call over to a live mortgage banker or even get more data from the borrower just to build a loan file. But the avatar will not make any underwriting or decisioning action, because that's something that we do not want the avatar to do in a vacuum. A live underwriter will have to do that, but the avatar can help collect all the data that's required to make that decision. And this is something that we might even put in a different avatar for the so-called mortgage loan processing. This avatar here serve as a junior mortgage banker, where they can help pre-qualify the borrower from a very high level. The next step is another avatar can be deployed to help guide the borrower through the loan processes with the required data, the required file that they have to upload, and signature. All of that stuff can be automated to take out the so-called repetitive and mundane tasks that right now are costing companies a lot of money to hire human being to do. Those things can be replaced and improved, but any critical decisions we have to still make by the human, the underwriters or the senior mortgage loan officers or processor. Those haven't changed.
Okay. Thomas, you mentioned that you have recordings and transcriptions. Is there anything that those can be summarized into, or how would I do an audit to validate? I know it's always looking at the same data, but as the technology starts to shift and learns more, I want to make sure that it's keeping its answers consistent and compliant. Is there any kind of auditing tool, or do I have to go back and look at each of the individual responses and interactions?
So we can add, this is an extra feature, but we can add where you can search for key phrases, key term, is not just a matter of knowing, let's say, the file number or the case number or the applicant name. We can actually have it query for specific discussion points of discussion, data points. With AI, there's scanning capabilities and that would be something that's an extra feature we could add.
Okay. Yeah, something like a manufacturing audit, right? So every fifth or seventh call or something, you can audit that call. It's specifically to see, how it's responding to the questions and the interaction on there as well, I would imagine.
Yes, and just keep in mind when this is not something where we just deliver a pre-canned product and it's kind of the finished product. We would actually test in the beginning. Part of our onboarding process is to actually test scenarios, questions, and accuracy before actually going to live scenarios, so that we try to make it closer to the desired end state before letting it, go live.
Okay, great. I mean, this all looks very good. It's all very, very interesting, and it definitely would help alleviate some of the overhead to having multiple junior mortgage bankers doing these calls. If they could get kind of pre-screened, even with the avatar, or kind of split the avatar and the junior mortgage bankers. And the nice thing is that the avatar is available 24/7. So anytime a borrower has the availability and the time to go in and inquire, at least start the process of inquiring about a mortgage, they're available.
Yeah,
So
you're right,
this is
Richard.
very
For
good.
example, the first thing that we would think most companies want to do is maybe use the avatar as a trainer. So let's say if you want to build out your retail call center and you want to hire 20, 30, 200 junior mortgage bankers to start going to your lead pipeline, well, those people have to be trained. And I know, having been in the business for a long time, multiple classroom trainings are expensive, time consuming, and also very, very hard to measure how effective the junior mortgage bankers are. Now you have an avatar that can be available online to provide live training to the junior mortgage bankers. You can reduce the time, and part of the training is you can also give them tests and trial runs to determine if they are successfully understanding what they have to do as a junior mortgage bankers. And to Thomas's point and your point, we can also deploy the avatar to be available 24/7 to accommodate the customer's time and requirement. And also one other great thing about having an avatar is the avatar is always trained to provide the best customer service. There's no attitude, there's no sleepiness, there's no hunger, there's nothing that a normal human would have to suffer through different time zones. The avatars will always be on and be at the best it can be, providing support to the customers.
Now, Mike, when you mentioned live training, are you talking about training the junior mortgage banker, or using the avatar to listen to the conversation of a junior mortgage banker and prospective borrower, and basically providing the junior mortgage banker human the script on how to interact as well?
I think that's that can be done through multiple phases. The first phase is for the new junior mortgage banker to sit down and talk to the avatar and have a conversation, and the avatar would provide talking points, talking scripts, and assist the junior mortgage bankers on how to ask the right questions, how to get information, how to deal with different customers' questions. As time go on and as the junior mortgage banker become a live agent, yes, the avatar can be deployed to listen to the conversation, record it, and then provide feedback to the junior mortgage banker. Now, at this time, I don't think we would do like a live, live feed where how some of the call center features where the supervisor can listen in on a call and then jump into the call when there's certain keywords that are spoken. Can say, oh, by the way, let me jump in and help. That's not something that the avatar should be doing, because we would like to have a supervisor, stepping in at the right time for customer experience purposes. But the avatar can definitely listen into the conversation and then provide feedback after the session is done, so the junior mortgage banker can do like a quick lesson learned about what they done right and what they are doing wrong.
Yeah, I was almost more thinking of using the avatar but using it as the live supervisor trainer to guide the junior mortgage banker for those borrowers who don't want to talk to an avatar or type in on the screen. They want to talk to a person, but they can be talking to the person, and the avatar can be listening, and then just internal giving guidance to the junior mortgage banker without the borrower realizing they're talking to
Sure.
both an avatar and an agent.
Yep.
We can, yes, that can be done. That's actually something that, as the clients, the mortgage companies themselves become more confident and the results are there, that they trust that the avatars have the right answers or have better knowledge than even the actual junior mortgage. That's definitely something that can be added as a kind of almost like a personal assistant to the bankers themselves, an advisory type of avatar. Just keep in mind, most most of what we're talking about is a customizable technology, right?
Yep.
There might be even more use cases where, okay, you're talking to someone, they have broken English, then you just click, oh, this person needs to speak Spanish. Well, basically the avatar can act as a translator or even take over the whole call directly to speed it up, better customer service. And really, a lot of folks, they want to kind of get their questions answered as quickly as possible. And if you can't do it, they get frustrated, they hang up, they go find another lender. So this case, this is really to improve customer service, actually. And we feel that we can do that because of the consistency, the training, the availability, and also the ability to add multiple languages, record, and train. So a lot of different areas that the AI can kind of speed up the growth cycle from. So you can go from being a small shop to growing as quickly as possible with the help of the avatar. This,
Yep.
we're not. It might help the larger companies, but the smaller ones that don't have as big of a budget, they can't make mistakes. They can't attract as many high quality junior loan mortgage folks. Now with this, I think you can help the smaller or the fast growing mortgage companies get to where they need to get to be able to answer as many calls and funnel and create that funnel that they need to.
Correct. And Rich, so you know, the avatar can interface seamlessly with all of the so-called call center technology like Genesis 59 8x8. Basically, they can take in incoming calls and also do outbound calls, right? So let's say you have a campaign where you want to call 5,000 potential borrowers that you just bought that list from, a third-party source. The avatar could be deployed to call these 5,000 prospective borrowers. Remember, an avatar is an instance, so I mean, we could deploy 20, 30, 40 instances of the avatar to talk to different prospective borrowers. Same thing, let's say you have a campaign that you run on a radio or TV and you have 1,000 calls into your call center. The avatar can scale out and now taking all 1,000 calls, which is, let's say, you have only like 20, 30 operators or junior mortgage bankers. Now people have to wait in line. There's a busy signal. Like Thomas would say, if they call in and there's a busy signal, they don't call back. They might go on, right? This one will help companies scale out their operation much better because they don't have to bring in 200 mortgage or junior mortgage bankers from day one, right? They can use the avatar to offset that.
That was a good point, Mike. So speaking of adding additional avatars or AI agents, I realized that was a demo. What can be done to help speed up the compute process? I noticed there was a little bit of a flicker there while the agent was processing the data. Is that something that can scale based on the hardware behind it?
Yes, actually, I depending on who's doing the demo and their internet speed, and also when you're doing it in between teams and combining two, we've noticed there's latency. But when we ran it with faster internet and a faster processing computer, there's less latency, and especially if the call center themselves, they usually have good bandwidth there, then we can offset that. So we'll test it and make sure it's optimized, right?
Is
It's going to
is
be
it better?
the hardware, network, and internet is going to have to be optimized.
Now, is it something that you guys would host those AI agents, or is it something that I could host internally on the same network as my infrastructure?
It's going to be our the preferred method is actually a cloud hosted method because it's more scalable. But if the mortgage company has their own infrastructure, let's say within AWS or within a cloud, it actually can actually eliminate a lot of latency, depending
So
on how many
whether it's your
hops.
cloud or the lender's cloud,
Yep.
it's going to be cloud based, but depending on your speed, will adjust the latency that you might be seeing.
So yeah, that was really more. I think that what you saw, I felt was due to network, internet, not really the actual technology itself. What you saw, because in the past when I've done demos, used the exact same avatar, it didn't have the delays, and we can basically eliminate that. That's not a issue that we can't overcome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean, I don't
that's something that
necessarily.
we can definitely help Rich. When we help you scale out and look at your infrastructure, as a starter. For example, let's say we would come in and help a company set up their infrastructure environment. We can definitely look at their cloud hosting strategy. What they have at the desktop, their interconnectivity speed, and also where they want to host their avatar. So those things are all IT engineering uh, issues that can be solvable with the right solutions.
So you guys will provide a site assessment basically
Yes,
on engagement as well.
yes, for sure.
Yes, once
Okay.
again, Rich, this is not a box that we're selling someone. They're kind of on your own, whatever the results are, they are. This is we're going to come in and make sure things work and test and continue to test and build and customize. This is really more of a customized white glove solution, not a software as a service.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, even with the latency, I think there's like some trade-offs there, because kind of what I think too is, sometimes when you're talking to a person who does this all day long, they're just going off of muscle memory, and maybe they're not totally listening to the borrower. Whereas the AI agent may have a little bit of a latency there, but it means that they're actually processing what they actually heard, and they actually heard what the borrower was asking for. So
Yep.
it's probably less steering with the AI agent than maybe even with a junior mortgage banker, because they're used to putting someone in a direction sometimes.
And
Yeah,
you're right,
actually,
the avatar will instantly upload the data that the borrower give them into the appropriate system. So, it reduces the chance of the mistype or typo where, someone can type in the information, but, put in the wrong place or type in the wrong
Right.
information.
Or put in
This
notes
one is
after
on
the
voice
fact.
recognized, yeah, so they can
yeah.
put it right in, right?
So we can even automate it where, things can be double checked before things are finalized. A kind of a questionnaire goes out to the client. From what you told me, is this correct? Does everything look correct to you? We can actually tie in automated responses and
Yep.
questionnaires and all those things. The other thing I wanted to say is we would really make sure that before going live, we would have kind of labs and pilots to make sure we eliminate kind of the snafus that you witnessed today, because that's just really a basic demo environment. We have, even depending on which avatar you choose, depending on the demoers network, that we're going to eliminate all that, so that when we're dealing with live customers, it's the network is optimized, and then we're cutting out all the variables that could cause the latency, or even I thought there was a little bit of robotic sound to it, Mike. And then the lips didn't match what she was saying. So just, I feel that was more of a kind of a internet situation.
Yeah. Now, moving on, Rich, I think if you can think about this, and this can be also used for wholesale. Imagine if you have a wholesale account manager assistance, right? So let's say you're a wholesale account manager, you have 40 brokers that you deal with. Most of the time, the brokers might talk to you or talk to you about a certain thing that, you just have to probably answer. Well, instead of you having to answer 20 calls or running around trying to do this, the avatar assistant that you have assigned to you could definitely provide information to the brokers, the stuff that they can get easily without you having to hop on the phone and talk to them. So that way, when it get the brokers what they need, like for example, they might say, hey, I want to get the status of the Rich Hernandez loan file. Where are we? Well, the avatar assistant can get that information for you without having to wait for the account manager to call you back, right? That way, the broker can get on their way and get the stuff they need to support their customers. So I would say, the potential of using the avatar at different aspects of the mortgage business is great because we are not looking to replace humans, but we are looking to assist and complement all of the mundane tasks that a human have to do. Those things can be handed over by to the AI avatar to do that, without having to compromise the so-called human intelligence that's required to run that business.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of uses for it there, beyond the junior mortgage banker. On the wholesale side, you could use it as a scenario desk as well, where a broker could go in there and ask them for some different scenarios based on the situation that they have, and maybe it gives them an option they don't normally think about because as lenders, they kind of always have okay, this is the time to do an ARM, this is the time to do a fixed loan. Maybe there's some other options in there. Non-QM may be an option as well based on the loan scenario, and give them some other options they didn't really think of and give them a deal that they didn't think they had.
Yep.
So yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely some uses there.
Yeah, this is great. Like I said, we love to talk more. The recording here, we are going to share this with other mortgage executives that might want to explore this technology. So with that, let me stop the recording and then let me see.